All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to LisaBug Mind Body Blend. We are the day before all of the craziness of the 25th of December. And so we're getting our holiday workout today. I'm so excited for this. We've been working on tempo changes to create overload this month. And what I've got for you is two different things: isotonic movements and isometric movements. So, isotonic means you're working the muscle while it's changing lengths, it's shortening or lengthening. So, you're moving a joint. That's called isotonic. Isometric is there's no change in the length of the muscle when you're working it. So, that would be just holding something in place. So we are going to combine those two different things today in class. And I want you to kind of put your thinking cap on today and be creative for your workout. A lot of things I'll give you are suggestions, but if you want to dial it up a little bit and slightly change the movements, feel free to do that. Or if you need to modify exercises, definitely do that as well. So let's take the feet nice and wide. We'll bring a nice inhale into the lungs and exhale out. And one more. And exhale out. Let's start to bend the right knee, shifting the body weight to the right, and then bend the left knee. And your toes are turned out slightly. And then we'll just start to move our arms into a little bit of a cloud hand style movement. Comes from Tai Chi or Qigong. Just starting to activate different muscles and check in with the body here. And so we'll add a little tempo change to this. So we'll go right, left, and hold. Left, right, and hold, or a little hesitation. And right, left, and hold. Sometimes we can call this quick, and slow. So on the slow, let's add push hands. Press across. Two quick ones. Quick, push hands, slow. And to the right, quick, rotate your torso, slow. And side to side and press. Good. Again, two more each direction. Look the direction you're moving on the push hands. And quick, and slow. One more each side. How's the body feeling? Starting to move some energy into the body. One more time. Quick, and slow. All right, let's come back to the center. Take a side stretch over. Just open up the side body and breathe. Really stretch. And then the other side. Keep the abdominals braced. And come up, bend those knees, hands come to the thighs. We'll twist to the left, dropping the right shoulder down. Look way over that back shoulder. And then switch. And back to center. We'll straighten out the right leg, pull the toes up, take a stretch here. So you're feeling this in your inner thigh a little bit as well as your hamstring. Pulling the toes up to add a little bit of a calf stretch to this. And then swap it over to the other side, straightening the left leg, pulling up the toes. And I'm supporting here on the thigh, but I'm not really holding myself up. I'm using my back muscles and the core. And back to the center, bend both knees, look towards your belly, round your back like a cat, tucking your tailbone. Just stretch that lower back region. And then start to restack your spine by rolling yourself all the way up. And then we'll turn to the right so that we now have a split stance. Push your heel down in the back, and we'll raise the arms up as we lift up off the heel. And then push the heel down and press the arms back, opening up the chest. And lift. And push back. One more lift. Push back. Let's take a stretch here for the chest. Maybe loop your fingers together, or you can just place hands on hips and open up the chest. Nice, tall through the crown of the head. All right, let's step the back foot forward. Step the front foot back to find your lunge. Make sure your feet are pretty parallel. Bring your arms in front of your body here, and as you lift up off the back heel, open the elbows out to the side. And then as you push the heel down, close your elbows towards each other. Inhale, open. Exhale, close. One more. Open. Press that heel down. Hold. Lace your fingers together. Press forward. Drop your chin towards your chest. Separate your shoulder blades. Just a little bit of an upper back release. And then inhale, reach the arms high, stretch. Exhale, release the arms down and step your feet together. All right, are you ready to start to strength train? Give me the thumbs up. Yes, I know you are. Okay, we're going to grab our heavier weights. So combining isotonic and isometric movement here. Bend your knees a little bit. Bring your hands down toward the outside of the kneecaps. So we are going to be doing isometric by holding this position for our body while we roll back. So the core, the glutes, the legs are all working isometrically because there's no change in length of these muscles. And the arm movements are isotonic because the length of the muscle is changing. Good. The abdominals are braced, so we've got some isometric there. Make sure you're taking breaks when you need. 3 more. And 2. And 1. All right, pull these arms back. Hold this, and we'll rise and then release down. Bicep curl, come forward and down. Pull, hold, come up, release down, do a bicep curl, hinge forward, release down. So there's some isotonic, some isometric in this little progression. Down, so we pull up, we hold, we rise, down and up, forward and release. 4 more, pull up, stand up, down and up, hinge forward, release, down. 4 more, here, stand, down, up, forward, release. 3 more. Here's where we get the mind-body blend part of class, focusing on some good brain work. And down. 2 more, pull up, squeeze, lower, lift, hinge, down. 1 more, pull, rise, lower, lift, hinge, and relax. Okay, just rise up from here. We'll take just one of these weights if it's pretty heavy. If you don't have heavy weights, you can keep 2, and we'll hold this at the chest. Feet about hips distance apart. We'll come down into a squat and up, down and up. Good. So what we'll do is as we stand up, I want you to press the weight towards the front of the body. You'll know right away if that's too heavy, you need to modify. We're working the shoulders here, so we don't need a lot of weight. Both of these movements are isotonic. Option is to do a bicep curl if the shoulders are too problematic here to press forward. All right. So let's do an isometric for the legs. Hold down. Keep pushing out and out, or down with the curl. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and rise up. Great job. Okay, bring that back to the chest. We'll step out to the right, squat, come to the center, step out to the left, squat. Isotonic movement, alternating sides. So we're adding a little bit of inner and outer thighs here. Okay, we're going to add a little bit for shoulders. As you step in, press up a little, out, press up, out, press up. And this can be a small amount right in here, or you can go all the way above the head. You decide. Or no arms, or do the arms without weights. Good. 5, 3, 2, and 1. All right, lower those arms down. Excellent. Now, see if you can do a one-arm bicep curl with this weight. If it's too heavy, too light, make a change. And we're going to hold this weight in the right hand. And I'm going to use my wall for balance here as I come into some calf raises. And I need a little bit of extra balance support. So let's bend that elbow 90 degrees, hold it, and we'll raise up on the toes and down. Up on toes and down. So which of these movements is isometric? The bicep curl. Yes, you would be correct. There's no change in muscle length. The calf raises are isotonic. Let's do 3 and 2. Hold up on 1. So we're up on the toes. Now isotonic bicep curls. 8, 7, 6. Stay up on those tippy toes, working the calves isometrically. 4. Good posture. 3, 2, and 1. Lower down. Release. Okay, switch sides. The weight goes to the left hand, or right hand, I guess. All right, so this time turn your toes out. Position 1. Bring the bicep curl to isometric, 90 degrees. Raise up on the toes. Up, down, up, down. Elongate, nice tall posture. Up and down. Squeeze the glutes a little bit. 4, 3, 2, hold up on 1. Lower the arm down to straight and curl. 8, 7, 6. Stay up on those tiptoes. 5, 4, 3. This is challenging with a 10, 2, and 1, but doable. Excellent. Lower down. Okay, let's get lighter weights. 2 of those, please. And we're going to go back into our squat, but with a split squat position. So your right foot slightly in front, your left foot's behind with your heel slightly up off the floor. We will come down into a squat and up. So I want you to make sure both of your knees go straight forward parallel. They don't come in or bow out. Arm movements, a straight arm shoulder raise forward and down, or a bicep curl, that's better, or an upright row. So you have lots of options here with your weights. Lift. So both arms and legs are working isotonically. 4, 3, 2. Now take it down and hold. So we have an isometric in the legs, and we'll bring the arms forward, out, and down. If you need to bend your elbows out and around, this is a great option. Works the rotator cuff. And we have forward, out, and around. 5 more. You should be feeling the front leg working, the quad and the glute. 3 more. 2 more. Use your options. 1 more. Out and relax. Come up out of that squat. Switch feet position. Left foot in front. Right foot back with the heel off the floor. And we'll come down and up. Now notice I'm not bending over. So this is a squat, but you're keeping that chest lifted and the legs parallel. Now we can add our several different movements. Maybe it's an upright row this time, or your curl, or your shoulder raise. Maybe you can even do an arm lateral raise. So pick something that works for you. Let's get 5 more. Good. Both are working isotonically. Muscle length is changing. 3, 2, 1. Take it down and hold. So now we have isometric for the legs. The arms go forward, out, and around, or bend the elbows, out and around. Good. Nice job. 6 more. 5. Excellent. 4. Nice pace, not too quick. Feeling those legs. 3. And 2. And 1. Press up. Shake those legs out. Great. Let's set the weights down. Get a quick little drink. Rehydrate. If there's any stretches that you need to take, do that now as well. I felt the heart rate come up nicely on that set. Okay, so we are going to do lighter weights, both hands, with a little bit of pressing above the head and pressing out on an angle. So you'll need pretty light weight or maybe no weight at all if that's going to be appropriate for you. Let's come back and take a wide squat position. Turn your toes out. Bring the weights here right to your shoulders, and we'll come down and up. So when we have our wide squat, we get a little bit more activation from the adductors or the inner thighs. We're going to move one arm at a time, up any amount, and switch. And then I want you to play with this. Maybe take it out on a little slight angle. Maybe the angle is more forward, or you can make that angle down. So you choose here what you'd like to do with the arms. Keeping that squat going. 8 more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now hold your squat down. We're going to double time the arms a little bit quicker, either above the head, slightly out to the side, to the front, or down. You choose. So we've got about 30 seconds here holding this isometric. Keeping the abs engaged, feeling those legs moving. Maybe you isometric everything. Just hold here. 15. 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come up. Wow, nice job. Okay, tricep kickbacks. So we'll bend again at the waist a little bit with bent knees. We'll bring the elbows up and we straighten the arms back and bend. So the lower body is isometrically working because we're not moving the lower body or the core as we're working the triceps. Good. Also, the back of the shoulder is isometric. If the shoulder wasn't working, your arms would fall down, right? So the back of the shoulder is staying isometrically working. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release down and rise. So let's practice that split squat again. Take 1 foot forward, but we're going to make this a little bit more of a forward leaning position. And I'll turn to the side again. So I want you to come down and up, almost as if you were going to set the weights on the floor and then press up out of it. So the angle of my back is staying pretty much the same. It's just the legs moving down and up. So this is isotonic. Let's bring the arms straight back and hold this. Turn your palms toward the ceiling. Now go down and up with your legs. 8, 7, 6, 5. Isometric for the arms, isotonic for the legs. 4, 3, 2, and up. Excellent. Relax. Switch the position of your legs. Other foot is in front. And we're just going to practice this movement down and slightly up with the legs. So you've got that movement. What I don't want you to do is bend forward and try to stand up with this part of your body. So get your body secure and then just bend your knees a little bit and come up. So I'd like for you to do something different than what we did last time with the arms. An option I'm going to give you is to hold them out to the side or maybe out to the front. 8, 7. You can do it with no weight. 6, 5, a really light weight. 4, 3, woo, and 1. Come up, relax those arms. Excellent challenge. Okay, we are going to take our weights, both sizes, to the sides of our mat so we can easily reach those as we do some different positions with the body. Our first position is going to be down on the hands and knees. So we're working our core isometrically in our quadruped position or our bird dog. So hands and knees. So what we're going to start with here is bring the right leg up and push up to the ceiling and come down. So this is working our glute. If you would like to add a light weight behind your knee, right in here, just to hold it in place is going to activate your hamstring because you've got to pull in, and then we'll try pressing it up. So either with or without the weight. And then what I want you to do is open your arms fairly wide here on the floor and bend your elbows a little bit so that you're kind of in a push-up position. So elbows are bent. 8, 7, 6. Isometrically working the chest and triceps and shoulders. Isotonically working the glutes and hamstrings. 3, 2, hold that leg up. Now do 8 push-ups, down and up. 1, 2. Now the leg is isometric. The arms are isotonic. 4 more. Woo. And 3, 2, and 1. Bring that knee down. Take a break for the wrists, maybe a child's pose. Stretch it out. Runaway weight. Just relax for a few breaths and stretching. So while you're stretching, I'm going to flip around so you can see that other side of my body for the leg work. We can try lifting and lowering the leg without the weight. So here's level 1. Level 2, we're going to tuck that behind the knee. I'm using a 5, holding onto it tight by squeezing and bending the knee, pushing up and down. Then your option for the arms is to widen your hands, bend your elbows a little bit so you're in an isometric push-up position. 8 leg lifts. 7, 6, 5. Great glute work. 3, zip up your core. 2, hold the leg up. 8 push-ups. 1, 2, 3, coming down any amount. 4, 5. I feel this in my right glute as well. 7 and 8. Good. Lower the leg and release that weight. Give yourself a little bit of a stretch. You can take a child's pose again or any other position that feels great for you. And breathe. Okay, let's transition to a seated position. So we'll come up. I'm going to use my little blanket to sit on here. It's always a little bit more comfortable. And we're going to take one weight, either you're heavy or you're light. Hold it in both hands at your chest. And we are going to take it back and do a little sit up. Now, do you have to have a weight? Absolutely not. You don't need to have that weight. Matter of fact, I'm going to go from my 10 to my 5. The weight gives you more workload for the sit up, but it's also going to give you workload for arm movements that we're going to be doing as well. So this is isotonic for the core, then the hip flexors. Now let's try to push the weight forward a little bit as we sit up and take it back with us. So we're getting some shoulder activity with the weight. If you feel comfortable, let's isometrically work the arms by keeping them out and stay isotonic with the core. 7, 6, and it's still isometric if you don't have a weight in your hands and you're just holding your arms in place. 4, 3, 2, take it back and hold the sit up isotonically. Bring the weight in and push it out. 8, 7, 6, 5. This is getting challenging. 4, 3, 2, and 1, and sit everything up. Nicely done. Let's set your weight down, open out your knees like a butterfly, and just stretch right through the center, stretching those inner thighs a little bit, as well as the low back. Okay, we are going to do crab kicks. We haven't done these for quite a while, and you might be saying, I have no clue what you're talking about. So let's break it down. So what we're going to do is just lightly put our hands behind us, lean back a little bit, and we'll lift one leg up, and then the other leg up. Now, I don't want you to put a lot of weight in your hands if you're doing level 1. I want you to barely hold yourself up and put the work right into your abdominals. Level 2, as the leg comes up, you're going to reach the opposite hand across, and across. So we're adding rotation of the spine. So what's working isometrically? Really, your abdominals are. Even though I'm rotating, I'm keeping constant work on the front of the abdomen, so the rectus abdominis. Let's do one more each side and then we'll take a break. And relax. Right leg straightens, left knee bends to the side, and let's stretch. So if that was pretty challenging, you want to stay with level 1. We're going to do one more set. If you want to try level 2 and 3, I'll give you that next level up. But I want you to have a nice rest here. So let's stretch the other leg in front, open the knee out, and stretch. A nice little hip opener as well as hamstring release. And breathe. So the only thing different about level 2 and 3 on our crab kick is we no longer have our rear end on the floor. So let's come back to this position. Level 1 and 2, you're sitting on the ground. Level 3 and 4, your hips are up. So you're having to hold yourself up a little bit more with your arms. So we'll lift a leg and we'll lift a leg. And then I'm sure you know where we're going next, which is really challenging. That is to reach the opposite hand across and across. It's interesting for me, the hardest part of this is I have some arthritis in my thumbs. And so I'm feeling that with my hands on the ground, but I can do a few, and there's a lot of balance in this. 2 more each side. 1 more each side. And rest the hips down, straighten both legs out, and stretch through. Whew, we got through that. That was challenging. You know what I also feel like we need is a little reverse stretch for the wrists. So point your fingers down, place one hand and stretch the top of your wrist. And let's do the other side. Gentle pull, stretch the top of your wrist. Nice. Then we are going to transition to laying on our back. So take your time to get there. Again, make sure both of your weights are close by so you can grab those as needed. And let's roll all the way down. Make yourself a pillow if you need. And then set your feet flat on the floor with your feet pretty close to your hips, and let's come up into bridge. So we'll lift and lower. Lift and lower. So I really want you to think about your bridges before we add any arm work in so that you feel the backs of the legs and the glutes working. Your bridge doesn't have to be really high. I don't want you to feel this in your lower back, just in your lower body. One more time with the bridge. And then we'll make an adjustment by lifting the balls of the feet off the floor and pushing your heels down into the earth. And let's grab our heavier weights for a chest press. So the weights are up here. Let's lift those hips up into a bridge and hold. So we have an isometric lower body action. We bring the elbows down toward the floor and we press up. Now my elbows are in close to my waist. This is a tricep press where we're activating the triceps a little bit more than the chest. Good. Maybe lift those hips a little higher, and let's get 8 more. 7, 6, 5. Abs are zipped up. 3, 2, 1. Now come halfway down so you have some constant work on your arms. Lower your hips and lift for 8. Isometric in the arms, isotonic in the legs. 6. 5. About a 90-degree bend in the elbows. 3, 2, and 1. Relax the hips, bring the elbows all the way down, and set your weights to the floor. Okay, you can do bridges again for the next set, or we can do tabletop position and take the work more into our abdominals. So lower your low back down to the mat to feel your abs switch on. Make sure your knees are over your hips, they're not into the chest. Then you'll lose the work in your abdominals. So from here, level 1, we can tap a big toe to the floor and come up. Or if you need something just a little bit less intense than that, you can start with your feet on the ground and lift one knee up away from the floor and switch here. So either of these is fine. If you like the tabletop, you want to make it a little bit more challenging, extend one leg way out and bring it in. If that causes your lower back to start to lift, then dial back the intensity a little bit here. Again, your bridges is fine with this as well. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a break for that. Grab your lighter weights. So I'm going to get my 5s here. So again, bridge is okay for this section, or bring your knees to tabletop. And we'll do an isotonic arm movement by bending the elbows, bringing the weights toward the outside of the ears, and then straightening the arms. So this is a nice tricep extension. Your shoulders are stable, so there's no movement through the shoulders, just the elbow joint. Good. Now we can certainly add one leg at a time as we straighten the arm. One leg goes out, and then the other leg. So even though we're using the movement of the leg, we've still got some nice isometric work through the core. As you guys are going, I'm going to check. Okay, my little text message came in there. And we have 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now let's bend our elbows about halfway. So now we're putting isometric work in the arms as we take the legs out and in for 8. 7, you know the level to choose for your body. 6, maybe your feet are on the floor. 5, 4, oh, those triceps are working. 3, 2, and 1. Straighten the arms up. Ooh. And then set the feet down and release the weights. Set them right at the side. Let's hug the right knee up into the chest. Extend the left leg down. So we're opening up the hip flexor on that left leg. Little stretch through the glute on the right. And then we'll move this into a twist. So hold on to your right knee with your left hand. Bring your right arm out to the side. And let's twist the left leg across and hold. Great stretch here. Nice deep breaths. Good job. Back to the middle. Bring that left leg back up so you have both knees up. And then extend your right leg long, stretch, hugging that knee in towards you. And then we'll pull that left knee across the body to open this out into a rotation. You can also look to the left hand or keep your head neutral. Deep breaths. All right, so we are going to roll over onto a side. Maybe it's the one you're going towards. You might need to roll to the other side to face your computer screen in a sideline position. Just support your head here. And then we have our lightweight foursome rotator cuff work. We've been doing these the last couple weeks, so I kind of am on a little bit of a roll with these. So let's start with that rotator cuff up and down. And these I want you to do nice and slow. Keep your elbow in toward your waistline so it's not coming away. And then add your clamshell. So the top knee rotates up and down. Or you can do a long leg raise up and down. So I want you to pick. Is it long leg lateral lift or is it a clamshell? Both pieces are isotonic, but let's hold either the long leg or the clamshell up and keep the arm going. So we have the leg stable, isometric, as we're working the rotator cuff isotonic. 5, 4, 3. Ooh, I'm going to get these done. 2 more. And last one. Okay, relax the arm, but let's go back into isotonic. Everybody, the long leg raise. So straighten that leg out, and we are going to lift and lower. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now keep the legs slightly lifted and go forward, center, back, center. 4 more. Forward, center, back. Now the isometric is the outside of the hip keeping your leg up, because if you weren't working that muscle, your leg would fall down. The isotonic comes from the hip flexor and the glute. 2 more. Forward, center, back, center. 1 more. Forward, center, back, center, and relax. Let's stretch this quadriceps. So grab your ankle. You might need a yoga strap to get it maybe, and pull back and stretch your quadricep. Good, and just hold. Now if you can't access your ankle, just relax that leg and slightly extend it back behind you. Good. Let's take about 3 more breaths. And 2. And 1. Okay, let's press ourselves up from this position or roll over to the other side. I'm going to use my blanket here for this left hip incision area. Okay, make sure your weight is correct for your rotator cuff work. We'll stack our knees and start our rotator cuff coming up and down. Isotonic work. Then you're going to add either a clamshell where the feet stay together and the knees open, or a long leg abductor raise. Good. Now, if the weight gets too heavy, just set it down and do this movement without the weight because you're still getting the benefit in the rotator cuff. Now hold the leg up either from the clamshell or the long leg raise and keep going with the arm. 5, 4, good, 3. These 5-pounders are really challenging for me with this arm movement. 2 and 1. Now relax the weight, but keep the leg lifting up and down, either your clamshell. No, we all did the long leg raise here. So let's do that leg raise. 8, 7, 6. You can certainly still do more arms if you'd like. 4, or maybe an isometric rotator cuff. 2 and 1. Now keep that leg slightly raised as we come forward, center, back, center. Isometric is in the outside of the hip. We feel that working. Isotonic is in the hip flexor and in the glute. 3 more. And back. Good. 2 more. Nice. 1 more here to the front, center, back, and center. All right, if you have the ability to reach your ankle, maybe with your yoga strap or your hand, we'll come into our quad stretch. If it's not accessible for you, just push that leg back with the knee bent. And breathe. 3 more breaths. One more breath. And then release that ankle. Press yourself all the way up to a nice seated position. And let's take our butterfly stretch here. We did it earlier in class. Open out those knees and stretch through the center. A little bit of inner thigh. So we are going to be coming back to a stand to finish class today with a few more exercises for the core. The QL muscle, the quadratus lumborum. So you'll need a heavier workload for this, but just one weight. Okay, let's rise up to a stand. Take your time, any way that works for you to come up. That's an exercise in and of itself sometimes to get up off the floor. So I've got my one weight here. I'm going to bring it to my right arm, the right side of my body. Stand up tall. And we are going to side bend and then pull this up. So it's the outside of the left core that's going to be working to pull the weight back up. We're also getting a nice stretch. If you want to start to make this a little bit more challenging, bring the left arm to place behind the head. This is going to create a long lever. Or we can even reach that arm over and pull it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull all the way up. Excellent. Let's swap that weight to the other side. We'll start with our level 1 first, just having the right arm hanging by our side as we lower and pull up. Next option, we can place the hand here, and I feel the difference in the amount of work I have in the right side body when that arm comes into place. Or we can reach it across, stretch, and bring it in. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nicely done. Release that weight that's by your side to the floor. We'll take a stretch here. Inhale. Exhale, bring our hands to our knees. And let's round the back. And then look forward, lifting your tailbone behind you for a standing cat stretch and a standing cow. So a little bit of isotonic movement through the spine. Now let's hold our cat isometrically. So pull in the abdominals, look toward the belly, round the back, keep breathing. Good, and then isometrically hold your cow by lifting your tailbone up behind you, look forward, a little bit of an arch in your back. Your knees are bent. And then rotate the spine, look over the shoulder, hold it. You can lift that arm up if you'd like and stretch here. And then down, twist to the other side. Option to lift the arm up. And then lower down. Let's rise up for a second. Step our right foot forward with the heel in place and stretch the hamstring one more time. And we can use one hand to reach down toward the toes. Good, and then come up. Take that foot in, reach the other leg out from the heel. We'll hinge forward with a nice flat back. Option to reach for the foot. And then come up. Separate the legs nice and wide as we finish our class where we began. And we'll just take it side to side. And then we'll do 2 of these with a slow push hands. 2 sweeps and a slow push hands. 1 more each side, 2 sweeps and push hands. 1 more. Slow push hands. Hold here, bring your hands to the thigh, pull the toes up and stretch inner thigh. And then come across to the other side, pull the toes up, stretch. Good, let's come to the center and straighten both legs, reach the hands down towards the floor, nice wide stretch, wide leg stretch. And then round the back all the way up, finish with 1 last big deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Nicely done, everyone. Happy holidays to you all. I hope you have a lovely rest of the week. We do have